Our special coverage of Black History Month begins tonight.
Sierra WWII has more on an exhibit that looks into guards who served in Maine during World War II.
Welcome back for part 2 on A Convenient Soldier. Earlier, we told you about a collaboration through the Maine Historical Society telling the stories of Black guards who served in Maine during World War II. They were a part of the segregated 366th Infantry Regiment. The stories had been undiscovered for decades. An artist's research led to the discovery of some names and also what they went through.
Tilly Lasky, a curator at the Maine Historical Society, was approached in 2018 by Asada Radcliffe, a traveling artist who lived in Maine at the time. Radcliffe wanted to learn more about these guards who served in Maine during World War II. Her exhibition showed many people, including Lasky, the beauty and pain they endured during their service.
They didn't ask to come to Maine. They signed up to fight in the war, but they were segregated, right? And so because they couldn't go fight, they were sent to different places to do this guard duty. And so I think for me, it was seeing like the really close relationships that they had in some locations, and then in others where they experienced a lot of racism.
They guarded bridges in North Yarmouth, Morkill, and Old Town. Old Town is where some soldiers endured the most hate and ran into extremely dangerous situations.
There was some resistance to them being here from some of the local lumbermen and lumberjacks, I guess you would call it. And so after there were a few altercations, I guess, that happened, it was decided that they probably should take them out of the job of guarding the bridges.
Some of these guards only stayed in the area for about 2 or 3 months because of continued altercations.
They were in danger in a lot of these places. And so for me, I think what came out of it was really seeing how Azada processed the exhibition and her experiences and how she connected them. She's not from Maine, but she was living in Maine, and her experiences in 2018 were really similar to the experiences of these men in 1942. And for me, that showed that we have a lot of work to do, and that putting exhibitions like this together and really showing the deep history of diverse populations in Maine is something that have been here since the very beginning.
Lasky noted while she saw some unfortunate realities through this exhibit, she also saw the positive experiences some of the soldiers endured during their time in Maine.
The close bonds that happened with some of the soldiers and the families that they stayed with. And a lot of these photos show us the soldiers with the children of the family, posing next to them.
That was the goal, to humanize these soldiers who served the country. Lasky says she was honored to work with Radcliffe on these findings because it shows what curiosity and compassion can bring to the surface.
History is it's people's stories. It's a word that's been kind of codified to mean what's written down in books, right? But to me, it's more of an oral history. And it's, again, those stories that have been erased for so many years because they weren't recorded. Now they're being, logged into the history books of time.
If you want to check out the exhibit online, you can follow the link on our website and mobile app to see more of A Convenient Soldier. Next week, we'll talk with a community leader who highlights the past to shape the present.